Hello, friends. So, I have been listening from childhood that people who go to schools, colleges, people who have degree, people who can use computers, they're all called as skilled laborers, skilled workers. And people who cannot read, have not gone to colleges and don't have degrees, certificates, jobs, they are called unskilled laborers, unskilled workers, unskilled tasks. It is called. This is such a worst way of thinking, and I have an eye-opening uh, reading for you to understand that this is not true. In fact, the ones who have gone to school are unskilled. They don't have any skills except listening to boss, doing what the boss says. Absolutely no skills at all. And every skill is with the illiterate person. And you people who go to school, you somehow tell that everyone should at least know literacy. Now that you know literacy, you don't know anything else except searching for job, doing job, saying yes sir, no sir, yes boss, no boss. You don't know anything absolutely. And everything that is known till now is being done by illiterates. So what I say, your literacy is ABCD, I, E, 1, 2, 3, A for apple. That is your literacy, and there is no use of this except passing some useless exam, getting some hopeless certificate, writing some mindless competitive exam, and doing some meaningless work throughout the life. So I want to explain through this reading that their literacy is different. Your literacy is different. The title is Their Literacy is Different, Stupid. You read books, you read science, you read notifications, you read instructions. You believe this makes you literate. By the time you learn to read properly, you forgot how to do. The people you call illiterate never made that trait. They wake up and decide which seed survives in this soil and which seed dies. They sow without calendars. They delay sowing without forecasts. They plant without rulers. They space crops without measuring tape. They prepare land with animals' hands and feet. They repair plough without mechanics. They judge soil fertility by smell and color. They read pest cycles without charts. They accept crop loss without insurance. They save seeds. They save seeds without laboratories. And you studied agriculture, but you cannot do any of these things. They live agriculture. They grind grain by hand every single day. They extract oil by crushing seeds. They ferment food without cultures. They preserve food without chemicals. They dry food without electricity. They store food for months without refrigeration. They know which food heats the body. They know which food cools the body. They know which food bloats the stomach. They know which food sustains hard labor. And you read nutrition labels. Still, you don't know any of these things. They read their stomach. They grow cotton. They harvest fiber. They spin thread. They weave fabric. They dye cloth with plants. They stitch clothes by hand. They repair tears again and again. They wear the same clothes for years. They adjust garments as bodies change. And you don't know any of these things. You just buy the clothes. They create and maintain clothing. They skin animals for leather. They cure leather without factories. They cut soles by eye. They stitch sandals by feel. They adjust footwear by walking in it. The same footwear is repaired 10 times. And you replace shoes because fashion changed. They choose land elevation instinctively. They align houses to sun and wind. They build walls thick enough to control heat. They set roof angles by monsoon memory. They repair cracks every year. They rebuild after floods without loans. There is no architect involved. There is no contractor involved. There is no EMI involved. And you call this primitive. You panic when rent increases. They make beds, stools, and storage boxes. They balance furniture without spirit levels. They sharpen tools endlessly. They reuse broken parts creatively. They hand tools across generations. And nothing is disposable. You assemble furniture. You buy furniture. You don't have anything to pass over to your children. Before that, your furniture will be gone. Your tools will be gone. They live with objects. They lay mud roads by understanding slow. They place stones where feet actually walk. They channel rainwater by memory. They repair paths after every rain. There are no tenders. There are no engineers. There are no delays. And you wait years for sanctioned roads in front of your home. You do nothing. They dig wells by listening to the earth. They harvest rain by instinct. They share water without billing. They respect scarcity naturally. And you get angry when supply stops. There is no power, you get angry. There is no water, you get angry. There is shortage of LPG, you get angry. For everything, anger is the only response in you. But they don't get angry. They get what they want with their hands. That is their literacy. They eat when hungry. They stop eating when full. They rest when tired. They walk all day without calling it exercise. They age without obsession. They do not medicalize every discomfort. And you monitor steps, sleep, and calories. You still feel unwell. They exchange skills directly. They measure wealth by usefulness. They survive job loss because skills remain. They handle crisis without panic. And you collapse when income passes. They wake up with light. They work until fatigue arrives. They sleep when it gets dark. They need no alarms. They know no burnout. And you schedule life. You still feel late for everything. So do not say at least some literacy is essential. Say instead that at least some dependence is essential. When you are saying that they all should get literacy, you are saying they should go to school and they should be dependent, unskilled, um, confused individuals like you. Okay, without systems you cannot survive. They can. You were born knowing hunger. You were born knowing fatigue. You were born knowing balance. You were born knowing rhythm. You were born knowing repair. You were born knowing limits. School taught you to ignore hunger. School taught you to override fatigue. School taught you to sit still. School taught you to obey clocks. School taught you to replace instead of repair. This is not education. This is disconnection. Their literacy was never written. Their literacy was never examined. Their literacy was never certified. Their literacy was never approved. Their literacy was lived. And the reason this hurts to hear is not because it is extreme. It hurts because it is uncomfortably familiar, stupid.